Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Lam, sitting in for Liang Zhang. Here's a preview of today's stories. Officials have charged 8 people for stealing from Apple stores. Their statewide operation caused losses of about $1 million. A senator introduced a new bill that would give people a rebate for going electric. But critics say it doesn't take into consideration many factors. And think before you click. The one you are talking to may be looking for more than just love. As Valentine's Day approaches, the FBI is warning the public of online romance scams. 8 suspects have been apprehended for their alleged involvement in statewide retail theft. Perpetrators mainly targeted Apple Store locations, resulting in losses of approximately $1 million. California Attorney General Rob Bonta, along with the California Highway Patrol and other agencies, announced on February 9th the arrests and charges against 8 individuals involved in a statewide organized retail theft operation.
Today we're announcing felony charges against 8 individuals for conspiracy and organized retail theft at Apple stores, many located right here in the Bay Area. These charges are the result of an investigation involving the CHP's Organized Retail Crime Task Force and multiple law enforcement agencies that began in 2022.
The alleged crimes occurred between August 2022 and January 2023 in the counties of Yolo, Monterey, Alameda, Santa Clara, Contra Costa, Marin, San Francisco, Orange, San Bernardino, San Diego, and Riverside.
Here, the suspects are alleged to have committed brazen thefts, entering stores with shoppers and employees inside and present, grabbing goods off the shelves, and stealing iPhones, iPads, and other electronics, resulting in an estimated $1 million in losses to Apple Store locations. These are high-value items.
With the increased prevalence of organized crime, retail crime, these task forces have been in extremely high demand. To date, 853 suspects have been arrested, and 290,000 stolen items with a value of approximately $28.3 million have been recovered statewide.
California and states across the country have seen a pattern of organized retail crime. According to a 2020 national survey, U.S. retailers lose approximately $700,000 per every $1 billion in sales to organized retail crime.
Today's announcement should serve as yet another warning to those who engage in this criminal activity and commit brazen crimes with no regard for the safety of workers, our businesses, and our community. We're watching you, and we will hold you accountable.
The suspects face multiple counts of felony charges, including conspiracy to commit retail theft, organized retail theft, grand theft, theft in the amount of over $500,000, and an aggravated white-collar enhancement. David Lam, NTD News, California. Disney announced a major restructuring on Wednesday. It plans to cut 7,000 jobs and $5.5 billion in costs. The entertainment giant is the latest media company to announce job cuts in response to slowing subscriber growth and increased competition for viewers. NTD's Jeremy Sandberg has more on the move.
Disney said Wednesday it plans to restructure into 3 segments: an entertainment unit for movies, television, and streaming, a sports-focused ESPN unit, and a parks, experiences, and products division. The 7,000 layoffs represent around 3.5% of Disney's global workforce.
The order in which they go about this will share a bit of light or shed a bit of light on their priorities for this restructuring.
Shares of Disney rose almost 5% at the news. Recently reinstated CEO Bob Iger says streaming will remain Disney's top priority and that the company will focus more on its core brands and franchises.
Yeah, this is Iger coming in with sharp knives because he needs to prove a point. And I think Disney got way overdone in terms of hiring on the content side. And it sends a signal internally to the industry as well as Wall Street.
The company reported its first quarterly decrease in subscriptions for its Disney Plus streaming service, which lost more than $1 billion. Warner Brothers and Netflix previously underwent layoffs.
if you look across the industry, Disney is not alone. There are a lot of companies right now which are really paying the piper and seeing what they have to do here in order to keep functioning at where they want to be.
The restructuring steps also include a promise to reinstate a share of profits and earnings to shareholders. Jeremy Sandberg, NTD News.
A new bill introduced in the Senate aims to encourage Californians to convert their gas cars to electric. But the experts say the cost for conversions run much higher.
State Senator Anthony Portantino introduced Senate Bill 301 to give a $2,000 rebate for people who convert their gas vehicle into an electric one. This program is seeking a $2 million yearly budget from the Clean Vehicle Rebate Project. The proposal involves the California Air Resources Board establishing the Zero Emission Aftermarket Conversion Project as an umbrella program. Once passed, guidelines and criteria will be created for rebate distribution. Senator Portantino said SB 301 will make it much easier for many Californians who have the desire to go green but lack the financial capacity to do so. This is the first bill to consider vehicle conversions as a way to increase zero-emissions vehicles in the state. Portantino claimed that vehicle conversions cost as little as $14,000. He says it's much cheaper than buying a brand new electric car at an average cost of $66,000. But car experts say the gap in prices between a new electric vehicle and a conversion is much narrower than what the senator claims. Automotive consultant Eric Clark told California Globe the senator is obviously using the numbers that look the best, giving the price of a new higher-end vehicle against a conversion price that fails to factor in a lot of things. Clark argued that with increasing production of electric vehicles and a rapidly growing used electric car market, conversion programs like this may not be useful. For now, SB 301 is waiting to be heard in the Senate.
When you have to go, you have to go. And now a new California restroom access law requires employers to allow certain members of the public to use employee restrooms or risk penalties for non-compliance.
Any businesses that are open to the general public and have an employee restroom are now required to allow certain members of the public to use the employee restrooms during normal business hours, and that's even if the employee restroom is not normally available to the public. This new rule comes from AB 1632, which was signed into law last year and went into effect January 1st. 4 conditions must be met to use the employee restroom, which are: the individual must have an eligible medical condition, 3 or more employees of the business are currently working on site at the time the individual requests to use the employee restroom. Access to and use of the restroom must not pose health or safety risks to the individual, and a public restroom is not immediately accessible. When all listed conditions are met and the business denies the bathroom access request, it is subject to a civil penalty of $100 for each violation. An employee who denies a requesting individual access to the employee restroom is not civilly liable for the violation.
Ahead of Valentine's Day, the FBI is warning the public about potential scams that criminals may use. Officials say these scams target people by gaining their affection. As Valentine's Day approaches on Tuesday, February 14th, the Federal Bureau of Investigation says scammers are likely to exploit individuals online who may be looking for companionship or romance this time of year. They may target people of all ages. In January through July 2021, the FBI received 1,800 complaints related to online romance scams, resulting in losses of approximately $133.4 million. Romance scams occur when a criminal uses a fake online identity to gain someone's affection and trust. Special Agent in Charge Susan Forensic said, "Cybercriminals use any information they can find about you to gain your trust, build a relationship, and ultimately steal your money or personal identifiable information." The FBI says some common red flags of romance scams are the perpetrator promising to meet in person but gives excuses as to why they can't. They will also talk about money or funds and request it, or may ask to move to a different communication platform. To protect yourself, the FBI says to be cautious online, such as being careful about your public posts, never sending money to people you haven't met, and taking things slow and asking lots of questions. Now we're going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we've got for you when we come back. In Southern California, a mouse is honored for being the world's oldest. His species is an endangered one that a local zoo is trying to protect. The mouse has lived about 4 times the average age of mice. And Los Angeles Dodgers player Mookie Betts hosted a bowling tournament. The big event was part of a charity to help children in need. That and more on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Lamb. In a recent interview, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy joked about Representative Eric Swalwell previously serving the House Intelligence Committee without a security clearance. But the Speaker didn't explain why he continues to allow a freshman Republican congressman to serve on 2 committees despite misconduct allegations. In an interview with CBS News, host Margaret Brennan asked Speaker McCarthy about why he continues to allow Representative George Santos to serve on 2 committees. Santos is currently embroiled in allegations of lies and misconduct. Doesn't it further wear down credibility when you put someone who's under state, local, federal, and international investigation as a representative of your party on committees? To which McCarthy knowingly responded,
as a representative of your party on committees. I'm talking about George Santos.
The conversation came days after the Speaker formally rejected Democrats' nominations for Swalwell to serve on the House Intelligence Committee. McCarthy cited security concerns and Swalwell's previous relationship with Fang Fang, a woman accused of spying for the Chinese Communist Party. Swalwell called the removal an act of, quote, political vengeance. Officials haven't charged Swalwell with any wrongdoing, and Swalwell said he's no longer in contact with Fang. McCarthy had vowed since November of last year to remove Swalwell, along with Representative Adam Schiff, off the House Intelligence Committee. A California county has unanimously approved a Bill of Rights for parents. This will grant parents in the county to be more involved in their children's education. The Orange County Board of Education approved a Parents' Bill of Rights on February 1st. The program will grant parents the right to be involved in all aspects of their children's education. The policy expands parental control over student learning in the county's Department of Education schools. This will give parents the right to be informed of, access, inspect, and recommend classroom lessons, assignments, curricula, displays, and additional materials. The policy will also allow parents to opt their children out of sex education lessons they deem inappropriate. Parents will also have the right to be informed of their children seeking counseling and preferred gender pronouns in school. During a January 4th board meeting, Trustee Jorge Valdez, who introduced the proposal, said the policy was introduced due to several local instances of teachers, quote, going beyond their bounds as teachers. He stressed, quote, I don't want anything I'm doing here to be interpreted as an assault on teachers. Nonetheless, it is clear to me that there's a small fraction of teachers, less than 1%, who are going well beyond what they should be teaching in the classrooms. During the meeting's public comment, there were no parents opposing or supporting the policy. All board members unanimously voted in approval of the new policy. The world's oldest mouse hails from San Diego. The Guinness World Record crowned him at 9 years old.
Pat, short for Patrick Stewart, was honored with the Guinness World Record for the oldest living mouse in human care. He's 9 years and 209 days old. He is a Pacific pocket mouse, a tiny endangered species. The San Diego Zoo, where Pat lives, says the big win and title will help raise awareness about wildlife conservation. Due to habitat destruction and urban expansion, the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance established a breeding program for the endangered species in 2012. Last year, 117 pups were born, the most in the program's history. Many will be reintroduced to their native habitat this spring.
Los Angeles Dodgers player Mookie Betts and his family hosted a bowling tournament event this week. It was to benefit his 50/50 Foundation, a charity to help children in the community who are in need. NTD's Jackie Rios heard more from the sports star and their fans at the big event.
Before Mookie Betts begins a fourth season with the Los Angeles Dodgers, he's giving back to the community by hosting the inaugural bowling tournament to benefit his 50/50 Foundation. Mookie Betts with his wife and family were in attendance for the big charity event, all sporting their bowling uniform. The event took place on Wednesday night at the Lucky Strike in LA Live downtown, with friends and fans attending. The charity tickets started at $500 for general admission and included viewing areas to watch the tournament along with food and drinks being provided. Betts had his fellow Dodgers show support, including JD Martinez, a new member of the team. All look forward to bowling.
No, I don't know. I don't know about bowling. I'll go try it today, maybe.
One of the faces of the Dodgers. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Betts and his wife Brianna Hammond say the foundation will focus on raising awareness and resources for children in need.
If you want to give kids opportunities, right? Whatever opportunity is, it doesn't matter if it's medical, financial,
skill sets in life, just anything in general. Yeah, we plan to help the community, the kids in any way possible that they need.
Hammonds explain what started the 50/50 Foundation.
Our family, our parents made us who the people we are today. They made it to where we had the opportunities that we have, and we just want to give back to give like the youth the same opportunity that we had, because a lot of youth don't have that. Yeah.
Betts is not the only Dodger player who has his own charity. When asked if there was any competition among Dodger players on who gives back to the community more, Betts' answer was simple.
No, not at all. It's just that's what we do. That's what the Dodgers do, and we help the community. The community helps us, and so it's important for us to give back.
In order to raise money for his foundation and have his fans attend, Betts provided entry at a lower cost through a raffle on his Instagram.
I really like baseball. I'm a big Dodgers fan, and I am also a really big bowling fan. Yeah, he's one of my favorite players on the team for sure. Mostly because I've known the team for a really long time. He's one of the newer players, and he's really good. I love his speed. He has a really good bat, and he's great at fielding.
I was here because I won a raffle to get the charity event, so yeah, I'm just here for fun, yeah.
How was that feeling?
It was good. I won it today, and so basically I checked my phone, and I got in, so I was really happy. What brings me here, I was going to try to meet Mookie. That's the main goal. He inspires me, everything, so he's my favorite player, so yeah. I play baseball, he plays baseball. I got into bowling because of him. Everything that he does, I just like to do, and he's like my role model.
The event also had a silent auction which features signed sports memorabilia by LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Tom Brady, and much more. The winner of the tournament took home a mystery bag full of items worth up to $5,000. Jackie Rios, NTD News, Los Angeles.
Now that we've had a taste of sports, let's check in with NTD's Carlos Reyes on today's Sports Roundup.
I'm Carlos Reyes, taking you through the California Today Sports Roundup.
San Francisco 49ers rookie quarterback Brock Purdy will be sidelined for 6 months after suffering a full tear of the ulnar collateral ligament in his right elbow during the NFC Championship loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Brock Purdy has spent the past week and a half exploring every option to get back to full strength. Although hesitant at first, Purdy has now decided to move forward with surgery in order to repair his torn UCL. The surgery is set to take place on February 22nd, meaning that Purdy could make a return within the first few weeks of training camp next season. Trey Lance, a former first-round pick, fractured his fibula and sustained ligament damage to his ankle early in the year. And Jimmy Garoppolo injured his foot in December, giving San Francisco poor injury luck at the quarterback position this season. With Garoppolo soon to become a free agent, Purdy and Lance will more than likely compete for the starting position this summer. The Oakland Athletics have spent years trying to get a new stadium while watching Bay Area neighbors such as the Giants, Warriors, 49ers, and Raiders successfully move into state-of-the-art venues, and now time is running short on their efforts. The A's lease at Ring Central Coliseum expires after the 2024 season, and though they might be forced to extend the terms, the club and Major League Baseball have deemed the stadium unsuitable for a professional franchise. They are searching for a new stadium in Oakland or Las Vegas, but have experienced difficulties in both areas. The A's missed a major deadline in October of 2022 to get a deal done in Oakland, and there has been little indication they will receive the kind of funding they want from Las Vegas. The A's have been negotiating with Oakland to build a $1 billion stadium as part of a $12 billion redevelopment deal. Newly elected Mayor Sheng Tao said reaching a deal is important as long as it makes sense to the city. Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo will not raise taxes to attract the A's or any other team, his spokeswoman Elizabeth Ray said in a statement. But she said the club could qualify for other ongoing economic development programs. The Los Angeles Chargers didn't waste any time in reaching an agreement with Kellen Moore to be their next offensive coordinator. The Chargers' newest hire was announced less than 24 hours after the Dallas Cowboys said Moore would not return the following season. Moore had spent the past 8 seasons with the Cowboys, including the past 4 as an offensive coordinator. He signed with Dallas in 2015 as a player and then joined the coaching staff in 2018, going from Prescott's backup to his position coach. Moore replaces Joe Lombardi, who was the Bolts coordinator for 2 seasons under head coach Brandon Staley. Moore will be the 3rd offensive coordinator since Justin Herbert was selected with the 6th overall pick by the Chargers in 2020. Shane Steichen directed the Bolts offense as well as being quarterbacks coach under Anthony Lynn in 2020 before Lynn was eventually fired at the end of the season. Herbert was 2nd in the league in completions and passing yards this season, but the Chargers were inconsistent on offense. Los Angeles reached the playoffs for the first time since 2018, but lost 31-30 to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC wildcard round after the 3rd largest blown lead in postseason history. In Moore's 4 seasons as offensive coordinator, the Cowboys were 2nd in the league in total offense and scoring.
And that is it for today's Sports Roundup. I'm Carlos Reyes. Thanks for watching.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like for you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-Today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with your friends and family. You can send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or through our email at california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Lam, sitting in for Liang Zhang. Have a wonderful weekend.